What is going on YouTube? And welcome back to my channel, JoJo Speaks. Thank y'all so much for joining me for this being my hot topics and social commentary live at 8 p.m. Thank y'all so much for joining me. I am JoJo Speaks from Faithful Warrior Ministries. I'm so glad that you are here. Let's get into the tea, y'all. A couple of things I want you guys to do before we get started. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Press that big red subscribe button. It is free and easy to do. It takes less than a second to mash that thing. So why don't y'all go ahead and mash it? Give me a thumbs up on this video. Let me know you're enjoying the content that I'm putting out on my channel. Be sure to leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the hot topics and social commentary we will be discussing on tonight. Be sure to press the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. Last but not least, be sure to share JoJo Speaks with all your family, friends, and loved ones. Let everybody know JoJo Speaks is out here in these YouTube streets. JoJo Speaks is really a tongue twister, y'all. If y'all try to say it fast, it's gonna trip you up every time, y'all. But anyways, quick announcement, I did post a review for Survivor Season 48, Episode 9. I posted that earlier today, so be sure to check that out. Like that video, comment on it, let me know your thoughts if you're watching this season, or even if you're not watching this season and you just enjoy my content, go ahead and check that out, and please look at that video for me. Jennifer will be joining us momentarily. I do want to mention something real quick. So Megan Thee Stallion, she did have another performance at Coachella where she was dancing to Slim Thug's music again. As I've mentioned last week, Slim Thug thought the fact that she was dancing to his music meant that she was interested in him, and so as she was doing this number, she said, "And no, Slim Thug, this does not mean I want you. It just means I like your music, bae." And Slim Thug responded by saying he will be patient in response to Meg Thee Stallion's turning him down. I just think that this is more of him, more of him just prodding. I don't think he really thinks that Meg Thee Stallion is interested in him. I think he's just, I think he's just trying to stay in the spotlight. I think he's just doing what he wants to do, and it is what it is. So there you have it. Also, have to give our condolences out to Pope Francis, who unfortunately passed away earlier this week. It just so happens that he passed away a day after he met JD Vance, and there's a lot of TikToks going around about the fact that he died just the day after he met JD Vance. I don't want to get into those specifics whatsoever, but I think Pope Francis is one of the best popes that I remember in my lifetime because he was truly progressive. He truly tried to make sure that his message went forward, as in making the church better. He was also the first pope that I remember that did not speak against the LGBTQIA plus community. He wasn't. He did not approve of gay marriage, but we have to take baby steps, and so I'm so glad that we have Pope Francis for the time that we had him. I'm interested in knowing whether the next pope will be as progressive as Pope Francis was, or are they going to go backwards and choose a more conservative pope that maybe fits more of the Catholic Church's views conservatively. So we'll see what happens with that. Also, just quick Trump news. I'm not going to stay on Trump for very long, but I did want to mention that the Trump administration is reportedly considering policies to increase U.S. birth rates, including a $5,000 baby bonus and expanded child tax credits. Now, this was spoken about on The View, and Sunny held back from expressing how she truly felt, but Joy told her, "Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it." It's clear that Trump wants to raise the rates of Caucasian people that are born in the U.S. and try to get the Caucasian population up, with the knowledge that it's clear that Caucasians will not be the majority years ahead. It seems that other ethnicities, mainly Hispanics, may take over the majority of the population in the U.S. And so I think it's clear what Donald Trump is trying to do. I don't know whether it will work or not, because when the black folk hear this type of thing, they might try to get that $5,000. I don't know if they're necessarily paying attention to what he's doing, but I know that this is what he's doing. He's trying to get the population of the Caucasians up, and we see it. Jennifer, hello, you're here. How goes it, my sister?
I am here and I'm happy to be so. Um, I'm very excited. My family's going to see Sinner, so I can actually talk to them about it.
Yeah, mommy's really surprised how much you've been pushing us to, because she really doesn't understand why you want us to see it so bad.
She'll see.
But do you think that she's actually going to enjoy it as much as you're expecting her to enjoy it?
I'm not expecting her to enjoy anything.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you understand that then.
I
I'm
have
so
no
glad that you
expectations,
understand that. Okay,
but
wonderful.
I the only thing that I think would be great is for her to see why people are so excited about it.
Mhm.
And to be honest, I think possibly the history part of it
Mm.
may make her happy. So I actually told her a lot about the movie.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I gave her, what is that noise?
I don't know. Sound like something simmering.
You heard that?
I did.
Ooh. Anywho, so I told her a lot about the movie, and I think wait, hold on. Did she say she don't know what after I talked to her this morning, or like
After
before?
you talked to her this morning, yes.
Gotcha. It's a good movie though.
And I believe you. I really do believe you. I believe that it is great. It is as great as you've claimed it to be. I fully believe that for
Yeah,
sure.
because I don't push anybody to see stuff like that.
BS. Yeah.
I
Right.
don't I don't do that.
Exactly.
Um, so yeah. I think it'll be a fun thing for all of us, but I'm really excited to be able to talk about it on
And
Monday.
speaking of Sinners, Sinners topped the box office with $45 billion. And it is the film with the best start for an original film since Jordan Peele's Us. So big ups to Ryan Coogler.
And that
And
was 2019.
right. And I did see Us. And I don't know if I enjoyed it as much as everybody else did, but I thought it was an interesting concept, though. I thought it was an interesting concept. And of course,
Child, I was
um,
lost. LOST, honey.
well, you didn't pick up on it by the end of the movie?
Eh, it's
Okay.
alright,
All right. But
I like the first one better.
anything with Umbaka in it, I'm out here for it, honey. Okay.
Okay, all them gams.
Yes. Wow. Okay, thick this, honey. Thick this. I love me a thick man, honey. I loves me a thick man,
Yes,
child.
yes, I know. Yes. You mean that thing.
I mean it, okay? With
But yeah, I
everything
encourage
in my
anybody to
heart and
watch it.
soul.
And also, Jonathan, it doesn't make it any better that keep on seeing all these TikToks of people diving deep into the messages and all that stuff. So yeah, you'll see all that I've been seeing once after you see it. I'll be sending you more TikToks about the little things that was caught in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Any comments to get to before we actually get started? And if you have any comments on the two things that I spoke of before we started or
I don't
before
know
you
what you
got
spoke
here.
of.
Oh, okay. I spoke on Meg The Stallion responding to Slim Thug in her second performance. She said, "Hey, Slim Thug, this do not mean that I want you, nigga. Okay, it just means I like your music, babe. Okay." And he said he's just going to be patient, but I'm sure he's just
You see my face, Jonathan?
what?
You see my face?
Yes, I do. I do. Um, and I also mentioned the fact that Donald Trump is trying to get more people, trying to get the population up. So he's offering a $5,000 baby bonus and expanded child tax credits for those who decide to have children. And I mentioned that they talked about this on The View. Sunny Hostin decided not to say what she was thinking, but Jordan was like, "Go in there to say it, girl." He's clearly trying to get the Caucasian population higher, so that what is expected to happen is that Caucasians are expected to no longer be the majority at a certain point, where an ethnic group, more than likely the Hispanics, are expected to become the majority soon. Who knows? It could be us Black folk. Who knows? But we all know the reason why Donald Trump is doing this. so crazy that he would do it so blatantly and not think that, like, does he think that we are not going to understand why he's doing this, or does he just not care that we're going
I
to
believe
understand why he's doing this?
I believe and what is he doing again? I'm sorry.
He's offering $5,000 to Americans who have children, and he's also expanding child tax credits for those who have more children.
So, yes, I do believe she's right. I don't believe it's his idea.
Probably not, no.
I believe it's all the people behind him that's been
And Project
pushing.
2025.
Exactly. I believe it's
Hmm.
all of them because a part of the crux of Project 2025 is the whole, we don't have as many Caucasian nights in in America as we had previously. And I've never understood why you would keep up on those kinds of stats,
Right.
but they have been saying, it's not going to
I
take
know
too
why.
it ain't gonna take too long for us to not be the majority anymore. And those are the kind of fears that's been rooted in them since forever, since
For
slavery.
a long time, since the civil
Yeah,
rights movement. Yeah, since slavery.
since
Yeah,
slavery,
absolutely.
because that's the fear that they're gonna rise up against us. I have so many slaves, they're gonna rise up against me and kill me, as they
Right.
have done to many slave owners. Oh gosh, maybe I shouldn't be saying all of that, but you know what I'm saying.
It is what it
Um,
is.
Child is truths and facts. We have Dustin in here. Make sure to say hello as he walked up in here.
Hey, Dustin.
Robin says, "Hey,
Hey,
Joe Nathan."
hey, Auntie Robin. So glad you're here, boo.
She made sure to greet Dustin as well. Miss Kim says, "Hi, Joe Nathan, Dustin. Hey, Robin. Hey, Jen. Hello,
Hello,
Miss
Miss Kim.
Kim."
Greetings and salutations, my love. So glad you're here. Can't wait to hear
Uh,
your thoughts on the topics we're discussing tonight, girl.
Robin says, "Jencita, hey." Happy to see you, Auntie Robin. Much love unto you and to yours. Happy to see you. Dustin says, I hope everybody's having a great Thursday. I actually am. It was busy, but it was a good one. And when you're busy, time moved by quickly. And I really enjoyed that. So it was a good day today. Let's see what else. Robin says that noise is for telling Mama Lee about the movie.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hey, once again, expectations are non-existent. You hear me? I'm just telling her to watch it so we can talk about it in the future. That's the only reason why. Not saying that she ain't doing nothing, but go watch a movie. Robin says, hi to Miss Kim. And Robin mentioned that it's 61 million worldwide premiere numbers.
Wow. Awesome.
Yes. So, the 45 was in this country. And isn't it wonderful that so many people watched it outside of the country?
It is. It's awesome. It's awesome
So
the
that's
interest that a movie like that with a director like that with a starring cast, and it's all black cast, correct?
except one or
Okay.
two, three.
For a black centered movie like this that's
There
set
we
in a
go.
certain time period, um, and it's a vampire type horror-ish movie. I won't consider it a complete horror movie, but
I wouldn't.
horror-ish movie. Anything that has to do with blood, I would consider it to be horror. But it is what it is. You say tomato, I say tomato. You say potato,
Okay.
I say potato. It is what it is.
Okay. But y'all, it was really great. I really enjoyed the movie. And I'm so excited that my peoples, Bianca already saw it. So Monday when we decompress, we're gonna talk about this movie. I'm gonna have to take notes. There's so much I want to talk about with this movie. Okay.
Oh, so it won't be a 30-minute show, y'all. It will
Oh
not
no,
be a
I'm
30.
not even projecting or halfway pretending that it might be
Not that we should pretend that it would be any time that we
in the
go
first
live on
place.
Mondays. Okay. Yes. All right. Cool. As long as we on the same page, girl.
Look, look at my hair all every which way.
It
I told
is.
Tyron I want to take it down now.
I knew you wasn't gonna keep it up for long, but you don't
Mm-mm.
have to if all you want to do is see the crinkly stuff. So it is
Yeah.
what it is.
This is T. McCullum. He says, Unveiled Vibrations with T.D. McCullum. Ain't that a nice name?
I
He
love
says,
that.
"Hello, family. This is my new channel."
Wonderful. Unveiled vibrations. That is so interesting. I like
Ain't
that.
that deep?
Deep, very
Unveiled
deep.
vibrations. Jeez Louise. Robin says, "So you missed the controversy about variety? Ain't no miss. Ain't no miss, Auntie Robin. We can mention that here today for sure, real quick. But yeah, she said, so you missed the controversy about the Variety article diminishing the movie's premiere numbers. Ciao.
Mm,
And they could have diminished it even further by just saying the American numbers.
right.
But no, they did the worldwide numbers of 61 million and then go on to say, well, they have a long way to go to cover the $90 million that it cost to make the movie. And I think we talked about this on Monday, but I'm gonna just say it out loud. And
Mm,
Ben Stiller, overweight's Ben Stiller, okay? Tony Perkins, Ben
okay.
Stiller,
Zoolander, Ben Stiller.
Zoolander, Ben
Tony
Stiller.
Perkins. Yes, yes. Come on,
You got it.
heavyweight. Yes. Yes. Get on the scale. Get off the scale. That's my favorite part of that movie when he immediately says, "Get off the scale. Get on that scale."
He said, in what world is $61 million a bad start for the first weekend?
Okay.
And then, yeah, it's really wonderful to see people stand up for
Mhm.
injustice that way.
And
And
it's so disgusting the way that they would try to diminish the just 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 him doing what he does.
that's
It's
it.
so ugly.
It
Why
really
and
is.
it's like, why would you want to do that? Why would you? But you look at the state of the country that we're in now, so why should it surprise us? It is
And
what it is.
what's crazy, there's a lot of people that like to really dig in and go into the what you would say minutia of the whole situation. Some people were looking at um other headlines that they had for other box office hits or other movies, and movies that have done way less, they gave
Right.
way more. So yes, this is racism, and I'm gonna leave that there. But
That's
I
all it
thank
is.
God for, we don't need
Really.
it to stand up for us, but it's really nice to see someone could just see the ridiculosity of the moment and speak up, and for it to be Ben Stiller saying that,
Right.
it means something to me for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It does. It does. Just real quick, I want to put out here. Sierra did an interview about Russell Wilson, wanting to have a fifth child with her, and she's like, "Can my uterus take a break? Can my
Handle it,
insides have a little bit of a break before you put another baby in me, nigga?" Like
please.
I love the fact that Russell wants to have children with his wife. And we're not hearing another Elon Musk or Nick
Come
Cannon
on,
or Boosie that just want to have these babies just to have the babies and just to
come on.
have the babies. Like, it's so beautiful to see a good man. Not to say that Nick Cannon, Elon Musk, and Boosie are not good men, but in my opinion, to see a good man, a good married man,
The separation of family, man. How about that? We don't get to see that
family
often.
man. Lovely. Thank you so much for that. A family man desire to have more children with his beautiful wife. And you
It's
know,
wonderful.
and the fact that, because I know that he wouldn't be able to put those posts out without Sierra being okay with that. Not to say that he can't put those things out without her knowing, but I'm sure
But,
he would
that's how
continue.
they play. It's
Right,
clear.
exactly. It's clear that, they kinda have this back and forth, and I just think it's beautiful, and, because, if Sierra don't wanna have another child, she ain't gonna have another child.
Yeah,
You
and
got
I'm sure it's no pressure, but
right.
when he does say those things, all of it is warranted because he over there saying she upside down on the chair with her legs like this. What you
Okay.
want what you
What
want your
you
husband to do?
What you think I wanna do, girl? What you think I wanna do, girl? Okay. When she was
Okay.
at Carnival, I think it was, and
Yes,
gir
she was. Out
girl,
in Trinidad.
what you think I wanna do, girl? What you think
Okay,
I
cause I
wanna
see it.
do to them childbearing hips, honey, okay? Because 'Cause they're childbearing, honey, okay?
Okay, and you know all they gotta do is kiss and she get pregnant, so, hey,
Okay, child.
that's all that need to happen.
Sierra and Russell are fertile.
Okay, fertile, honey. Okay,
Fertile, honey, okay?
okay.
Um,
Shoot, I wouldn't be surprised if eventually he had to go ahead and get that, vasectomy, when she's, like, done, for real
done,
done.
done, done. I'm sure we will hear that story somewhere down the
Oh,
line.
yeah,
I'm sure
along the
we will.
lines, they'll have the deep
Okay.
conversation, but to be honest, I don't mind seeing all that carrying on. I enjoy seeing that carrying on. It's very cute to
It's
me.
so cute. It's so cute. And it's I don't wanna say that it's goals, but I feel as though we should look up to a beautiful married couple like that. You know what I'm saying?
I would say that I don't like to use the word goals. I think there are a good number of people that looks up to that.
Right, absolutely.
It's for somebody.
And it's a beautiful thing to look towards, to look up to. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful example of a beautiful
What it can be.
family of color. Yes, what it can be. Absolutely. Yeah, that's beautiful. Anyway, so oh, go ahead with those comments, Jennifer.
Miss Kim says Ben Stiller always been down. I'll post the link in the Discord.
Been down. Been down. Okay.
Him and his parents. Let's be real. You you know, on Heavy Weeks, those were his real parents.
Yeah, yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about that movie got me smiling.
Okay.
There she goes. She said his parents were down too. Exactly.
Okay, exactly.
It's taught. It's taught.
Power to the
Not only is it taught to, be good to everybody, but I think it's also taught to stand up for people too. And I
right.
believe that yeah, but go ahead.
So, the ultimate clout chaser, Kevin Gates. I won't say he's the ultimate, but an ultimate. I'll
Him
say an
him and
ultimate.
what's the name? Not Flip.
Slim Thug.
Slim Thug. Him and Slim Thug. They in the
Yeah, they
same
on the
boat as
same
I
level.
feel. Yeah.
Same level. Even though
Mhm.
I think I like Slim Thug a little more than I do Kevin Gates. That's just because I think he's more attractive.
I
But anyways,
agree.
and he's not as problematic. I think Slim Thug does things just to have fun. I think Kevin Gates really
Just to
truly
be seen.
believes just to be seen. And I think Kevin Gates does these things because he truly believes them and he lives by these things that he says. But anyway, so Kevin Gates said that he wouldn't want to trade places with LeBron James because he doesn't like the way his wife Savannah James looks at her husband. He said, "quote I like the way that them white women look at LeBron." And so I saw a TikTok on this. I'd seen this story before I saw the TikTok, but I saw a TikTok on this, and you have to understand the difference between a groupie and a wife.
Mhm.
A wife looks at him. She's been with this man since they were in high school, honey. Okay, it's just not that a groupie is going to look at LeBron a certain way because this is her first time seeing him, or this might be the second or third time that she's seeing him, and she wants to get at him for a reason. His wife Savannah, on the other hand, has been down with this man since back in the day, since we have four flats on a Cadillac, honey. Okay, I mean, and she knows him, and I harken back to an interview that I saw of LL Cool J's wife,
Mhm.
and how
Uh-huh.
their relationship came about, and how she had to deal with women that are looking
Oh,
at
she
you
had to deal with it.
way. And and how she had to avail herself to be the wife. There's a difference between a wife and just a sideline girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just
Or
a
a groupie or
groupie,
a fan.
a fan. Exact. A fan, I think, is a better option to choose. But it's men like Kevin who I do not believe he is married, who has a random woman complaining
He
about the
is
way that
I don't know if his
he
divorce went through.
okay, they had a random woman who explained her issues with Kevin and the fact that she had her tips with him and things of that nature. Is he qualified to make this type of statement against a man who has been married for I don't know how many years, has a child, has seemingly has not had any child out of wedlock, has seemingly had no allegations of infidelity whatsoever in the public eye at that. For him to say that he don't like the way that a man's wife who's been his wife for it seems like over 20 years does not look you don't know their relationship, you don't know their dynamic, you don't he's trying to make it seem as though Savannah does not love that man, and for her to stay with him as long as she has, to have I think 3 children for him as the way that she has, to bring into question the way that she feels about that man. I personally don't believe that Kevin Gates has that right. Jennifer, what were your thoughts when you heard this foolishness?
Just to clarify, Kevin Gates is still married.
Okay, okay,
He got married to Drea Hayes in October of 2015.
okay.
Currently, Jonathan, I don't know if you know this, he's been walking around with Rena, uh, what's her name? Bria?
Oh,
Something.
okay.
Brittany Renner.
Brittany Renner. Okay,
Yes. And he's not divorced. So
gotcha.
this kind of, tells you the kind of man that he is. And Brittany Renner's been walking around with the burqa covered, the
Mm,
Muslim thing.
okay.
And they're asking him, "Have you had sex with her?" Like, "No, we ain't getting we're not having sex until we get married," but he's still married to his wife. Uh, so for him to say something like that is really telling. I do like how LeBron responded by saying, "We don't, speak to peasants or we don't acknowledge peasants."
Exactly. Okay.
And I agree. But if I would take it further if I were him, we don't acknowledge simple-minded people that think less of women. Um, for him to say that um, about Savannah shows what he feels like a woman should do or should be to a man.
Right. Exactly. What she means to a man. Right.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So for Savannah to be looking at him like, ooh, like, okay, what I don't understand, I can't imagine any real man, want to be with a woman for that long that looks to a man like that for so long. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? At some point, we have to
We
be
got to
able
get
to
past
level.
this.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. We
Yes.
gotta be able to level and talk human being to human being
Right.
and be like, though we may not be on the same level, in different industries, we're in the same marriage, we're in the same bond. And for one person to be up here and this one to be down, and you got to be looking up like this every time you're looking at your husband
Hmm.
in awe and wonderment,
Okay.
is absolutely ridiculous.
And doesn't that kind of go away in any relationship? In any relationship? But I mean, I guess if you haven't been with a woman that long, I guess you wouldn't know the difference. But it is what it is.
And to be honest, his current wife, the woman that he's legally married to, it seemed like they had more of a partnership, to have their relationship the way that they have their relationship, and they have 2 children together.
Mm.
But it looks like he decided to do whatever he wants to do moving forward. You know what I'm saying?
And if that's what you
Um,
want to do that. But you can keep those opinions to yourself because we
to
don't care. And the most disappointing thing about that is there are so many men out here who think the same way that he does. There are too many men out. I'll say there are too many men out here that think the same way that he does.
and
And
I
it's
believe that's part of the reason why they're single, because a or excuse me, you believe a woman is supposed to regard you in that way like you're God or something. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
exactly.
And it's not going to be that.
There's
And
nothing
once
equal
again,
about that type of relationship.
nothing. And if you
Hmm.
believe that your foot needs to be on the neck of your significant other for the rest of your relationship, I'm not sure how your relationship is going to go. And it doesn't give the person that you're with, whether a man feels that way or a woman feels that way.
Right.
I don't understand how a relationship is going to move forward or that individual person can grow because they're always up under your thumb.
Right.
And just think about the thought process of that person's like, man, I could never be like that. Do you want a person that doesn't feel like they could ever be great?
On your level. Not to say that, his level is greatness.
We're going to give a lot of grace with that part. Miss Kim says Kevin Gates is weird.
Very
Wholeheartedly.
extremely.
Okay.
I don't
I don't,
understand
e-
him at all.
I don't even know why we're listening to the man.
And and
Miss
and I don't get what attracts people to him whatsoever. Because I don't know any Kevin Gates songs
No,
at
it's just
all.
his music be talking about sex, but it sounds kind of
Okay.
crazy because he do be talking about choking people and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Little
Violent.
valid. Miss Kim says, "Why is he bothering LeBron and Savannah? They don't bother anybody." Agreed.
Nobody.
But you see, at one point I was thinking like maybe it's jealousy, but no, he
That's just how
thinks
he feels.
he thinks he's right.
He
He
does.
thinks LeBron need to have what he believes that he should have, which is still grossly inappropriate.
And none of your
Um,
business.
and none of your gosh darn business. Miss Kim says Drika, Kevin's wife, is living on a farm in peace.
Okay. Without that man. Gotcha.
They need to go ahead and go through that divorce though. She need to be free so she can find her king.
Okay. Because we know who it ain't. Anyways, so Kanye West is sort of kind of going viral again. He has released a song called Cousin, and in this song he reveals that I think I could say the word fellatio on YouTube. I think
Do
that's YouTube.
professional. I like professional, like Wendy Williams used to say back in the day.
Okay, so he performed a professional on his cousin up until the time that he was 14 years old. And he saw the magazines in his dad's drawer, and he also saw the magazines in his mom's closet. And the magazines in his mom's closet leads me to believe that it had scantily clad men on it. Not sure if it was an LGBTQ plus center type of magazine, because he said that they did the acts that he saw in those magazines. And so
Mm.
that would lead me to believe that those were the type of magazines that his mom had. And there are women out here who enjoy boy love. And hey, shout out to y'all who do like it. You know what I'm saying? More power to you. Um, I look at this and I look at it in this way because a lot of people are asking, do we believe him? Do we think that he's telling the truth? I see Kanye West as more of a delusional man, a man who has mental issues, as opposed to a liar. I don't see Kanye West as necessarily a liar. Now, do delusional people tell lies here and there? Sure, absolutely, they do. And are there lies sprinkled into the things that they say? Absolutely. However, I don't see what would what he would gain by telling this lie. I choose to believe, and it's not just because I'm gay, but I choose to believe that I feel as though he's telling the truth. Now, why he chose to reveal this, who knows? I damn sure don't know, child. But there have been a lot of rumors about Kanye West in the past. There was this run rumor that he had an affair with Jeffree Star, which made me want to throw all the way up because he's been known to allegedly be racist. And I
It
don't even
ain't
know if that
alleged.
should
I
be
heard him
alleged.
say the N word
Okay,
to some
yeah.
women.
So there was also a clip that Jennifer sent me on TikTok that Wendy had been saying for years that he had this relationship with a designer from Givenchy. I don't exactly remember what his name was. So, to be honest, I have thought for a long time that Kanye West was possibly same gender attracted. I've thought that for quite a while, and so it would not surprise me if he was same gender attracted, and it might be same gender attracted in the way that Diddy might have been same gender attracted, where he just don't care who it comes from as long as they getting it, then that's okay with them, which is okay if that's where you are. I don't even know if I would want to label sexuality on that. I'd just say free loving. You like what you like, and if that's what you like on that day, then so be it. But I'm just interested in knowing why he felt the need to share this with the world. Because if you wanted to just make a headline, he could have said anything under the sun. but I feel as though he did this for a reason, and I do find truth in what he said concerning this time in his life. And he did say that his cousin is in prison for taking the life of a pregnant woman, and he said that this happened sometime after he told his cousin that they weren't going to do what they had been doing in the past. Jennifer, what were your thoughts when you heard this? Was it a surprise to you? Do you think it's a lie? Do you think it's the truth? What are your thoughts?
I agree with my husband, Mr. Unveiled Vibrations, what Tina McCullum says. Ye is trolling. His last stunts did not garner him any attention.
Mm-hmm.
So to quote unquote reveal things about himself, I guess that's the next step. Here's my thing. I more believe the rumors that were out previously than I believe what this with the song thing.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, I don't know about that. But let me just say these comments real quick. Miss Kim says, why would he share that information about Dr. Donna? Donda. That's a lot of D's. Dr.
Right.
Donda. Yeah. Which, you know, pandering, trolling, stuff like that, right? And she also says Jeffree Star looks like an alien.
Literally, literally. India Farah played Jeffree Star on Snatch Game, and she did that very well. She looked just like that person.
That
I don't know
person.
what Jeffree Star's pronouns are, so I'll just say that person.
They do what they want to do. Um so as far as him possibly being gay or enjoying some men, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. But I do have an opinion on Diddy though.
Okay,
I personally think that he's not gay.
I
I
don't think so either.
believe that he is attracted to being able to break a man down and do that to him.
It's a power slash prison type
It's
thing,
a
you know?
power sexual thing
Yeah,
because, when he first got into jail, people were like, "Well, shoot, at least he's in jail, he'll be able to have all the hot relations he wanna have." But they've been saying from the jail, like, "Nah, he's not trying to do any of that." People been offering, but no. And it makes sense
when you
because
don't have to force it out of someone, it's not as enjoyable. I
or
understand.
use your power
Mhm.
to force it like that. I think that's what gets him off.
'Cause he has no
Um,
power in jail.
mm-mm.
Yeah.
And for all we know, it might not work at all because of all the drugs you be taking. That's what they say. You know, when you take a lot of drugs, that thing don't be working like that.
Uh-oh.
Um, that's what they say, child. That's why we don't take drugs around here. And Imma shut up. Miss Kim says, Ye needs to stop talking. He has children who are come on, thank you, who are in
Right,
school with, kids who hear these things. Absolutely. Absolutely. And she also says that he wants to control somebody. Yeah, it's like, I'm not sure if
right.
he's gay, but does he want to control people? Does he want to control people that he believes are at, big stature? All he could keep on thinking about is the story that, Terrence Howard's, told
Mhm.
about, you know, "Okay, I'm supposed to teach you how to act." You're just staring at me, okay? Um, you want music. Okay, I can play the guitar. Let's do that.
Right,
You're just staring at me some more. Talk to his assistant. I think you're trying to me.
right. Well, more than likely.
So it's like I think it's the conquest for him. He sees
Mhm.
people that he wants,
It's the chase.
and yeah, yeah. He don't want to. Man, let me leave that alone so you can move forward with your life.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, but it's just so interesting that he would share that. But it could be more trolling. Who knows? Who knows? We more than likely will never know the truth
Not for
concerning
sure,
that
no.
particular story.
Or
Anyway,
unless the cousin comes out and speaks up for himself.
right. Which, we might hear him from the hallowed halls of the prison. Who knows? Not
The who's
necessarily
cow.
hallowed, but it is what it is. The Who's Scow, yes. Anyways, some sad news was revealed earlier this week. Tina
Mm,
Knowles revealed that she was diagnosed with breast cancer after missing her mammogram from 2020 while we were in the pandemic. Jennifer, go ahead.
Miss Kim said Terrence Howard would have.
Personally, Miss Kim, I can't say that I would agree with you. I just don't see Terrence Howard being attracted to men, because I feel like if Terrence Howard were attracted to men, he would sing it from the mountaintops. He just seems like that type of person that would reveal. Well, no, actually, no. Scratch that. No, I don't think he would, but I just don't see him being attracted to men. I don't, and I feel as though if he had had that experience, he might have shared it with the world. I don't know, but that's just my opinion.
She also says Terrence Howard has a thimble down there, so Diddy would have sent him packing.
Yeah, I did see the picture from Get Rich or Die Trying it. Yeah, it's. Anyways, I will say though, he has some cakes back there. Though he does have the cakes.
And I think that's what
Absolutely.
Diddy was looking for.
Okay. I can understand why. I can definitely
That's
understand
the
why.
kind of
But
packing he was looking into.
okay. But yeah, anyways, Tina Knowles revealed that she missed her mammogram in 2020 because of the pandemic that was happening. Oh, Jennifer, go ahead and read that comment.
She did type her first statement by mistake. Understood, and we forgive you for the mistake. This first statement was a mistake, Jonathan.
Okay. Okay.
Moving forward and moving on.
Understood. Yeah. So Tina Knowles revealed that she has stage 1 breast cancer. She did an interview with Gayle King, explaining that her daughters came to her surgery where the tumor was removed from her breast, and they tried to cheer her up. Solange played her a video of a trans woman who was just doing her thing, and I thought that was so beautiful
The
that she
demure
was.
thing.
Yes, the demure thing. I thought that was so beautiful. The support that she's receiving from the people that love her. I'm so glad that it was caught. That it was caught early. She said that if it was caught back in 2020, it would have been stage 0. I didn't know that there was a stage 0 when it came to cancer. I had no idea that there was a stage 0, but thankfully, it wasn't a further stage than stage 1. And so my prayers go out to Tina Knowles. I've always admired her and her strength, and the pedigree that she has been able to share with the world. She's an amazing woman. I loved when she was with Richard Lawson and their relationship. Unfortunately, they're not married anymore. However, I love the way that Tina shares her life with the world, because she shares her life with the world more than her daughters do. And so I appreciate
Absolutely.
what she shares with us. And I just pray that she's able to live the life that she wants to live. And I pray that she's not hindered by this diagnosis. Jennifer, what were your thoughts when you first heard this?
To be honest, in my Shondo of Shondos, I know she's fine.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I think that was great. To be honest, I was more off put by Gayle King talking to her. All I could keep on thinking about was space. Have you ever been to space?
Right. Yeah. You can't get that out of your head.
I can't. I'm sorry. But God bless Mama Tina. I think it's awesome how she is so connected with the social medias of it all.
Yes.
Um, and she does uh hold her mule when she has to, when people talk crazy about her family. Um, but yeah, she makes sure her manager, Miss Blue Ivy Carter, um, gets to see everything first, and
Now she does have a clapback in her shondo here and there.
oh, a
And
strong
so,
one. And what I love about it is that she's grown and she can do whatever she wants.
okay, I'm a grown woman. I can do
She
whatever
a
I
grown
want.
grandma, okay? She can do what she wants.
I think that's one of the most underrated Beyonce songs of all time. When I tell you I love that song, produced by Timbaland. Okay, child,
Ain't nobody else can do it.
nobody, and I love the choreography to it when she performs. It's I love that song. I
Yes. Come
really
on,
do.
Miss Carter.
I really do. Any comments before we move forward, Jennifer?
No, no, sir.
All right, so Mr. Shannon Sharp. Mr. Shannon
Mm.
Sharp. He's facing a lawsuit of $50 million for
Mhm.
allegations. It was revealed that he had originally offered a $10 million settlement to this Jane Doe, to keep this lawsuit from coming to fruition. There was an audio call that was released where he threatened to assault this woman by choking her. I think we can say choking on YouTube. Um, Also, some text messages were revealed by Shannon Sharp where we were able to get a glimpse of their, I guess I would call it a situationship, because they weren't necessarily in a relationship per se. But she talked about wearing dog collars, talked about him putting a big black baby inside of her. She wanted
Oh,
his milk, if you will. I forgot the way that she put it. It was comical the way that the way that she described it. But Monique, and it's weird that I have to say this, but Monique said during his interview with
come
her
on.
on what is his show called?
Club Shay Shay.
Club Shay Shay. Thank you for that. He needs to stop messing with these young women's, and of the, I don't know if she included of the
No, she kept it at
Caucasian
young.
persuasion.
She
Yeah.
she she didn't talk about the
Um,
Caucasians.
but from the voice of this woman, she's clearly a Caucasian woman. And so I will say this: you get what you pay for. You get what you looking for when you looking for these young women who only want a check from you, because that's the only reason why she wanted you to put that big black baby up inside her so she could get child support, nigga. uh, when you put yourself in these positions, you cannot be surprised at the results that you get out of these situations. I do think that it's sad that Shannon has felt in the past that he had to prove his heterosexuality with, release, because I do think that he allegedly released that audio of him having relations with that other woman. But maybe he doesn't have to do that anymore now that people can see the evidence of him having relations with a woman. Anyways, not that that's important. I just wanted to put that out there. But he I won't say that he asked for this, but he can't be surprised that this ended up happening. But I do feel as though he will be able to win this case with the evidence that Shannon Sharp has of this consensual relationship. She described her going to his house and being led upstairs, and the way that their interactions went. Like, Jennifer, you're shaking your head.
Say what?
You're shaking your head.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. Anyways, I just want to make. I just wasn't sure if you were not agreeing with what I was saying, but anyways, it's it's so interesting to me that some of these women get into these situationships, and next thing you know, they're suing. You know what I'm saying? And it makes it sometimes harder to believe those real victims when we have so many of these women who willingly and voluntarily get into these situationships with these rich men, and then find themselves suing the men and claiming that they are victims. You put a bad name on true victims. You put a bad stain on true victims. You are not a victim. You willingly, voluntarily were in a situationship with this man. And maybe because, I don't know the reason why she decided to file this lawsuit, but maybe it's because he wouldn't put that big black baby up inside you. Maybe it was because he wouldn't give you the money that you were possibly asking him for. But hey, I don't know what I want the conclusion of this lawsuit to be, because maybe Shannon Sharp needs to learn an expensive lesson. Um, However, I don't believe that she deserves any of that money. I truly just do not believe that she deserves any of that money, because I personally do not see this Jane Doe as a victim. Jennifer, what were your thoughts when you heard of these allegations that were being brought up against Shannon Sharp? And do you agree with Charlemagne and DJ Envy saying that Shannon Sharp should just keep his mouth shut and let his attorney do all the talking? Because I feel as though if he wants to speak on it, he can speak on it. It is what it is. I don't think he's making things worse or putting himself in a bad light by speaking to these allegations. What are your thoughts?
Personally, I do feel I kind of agree. No need to really talk. Let the lawyer do the talking. Um, because you don't know what you may say to dig you a deeper hole
Mhm.
in the whole world of legalities and things.
Right.
And of course, everything you say and do can be used
And be
against
used
you.
against you in a court of law. Right.
So I personally say don't say nothing. But I don't care how this goes either way, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
It's for the simple fact that it's a tale as old as time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And the problem is that there's no discretion on who you decide to play around with.
Mhm.
For you to be at 50 or so and meet a 19-year-old and feel, and I don't care what age, but feel comfortable
Okay.
enough to move, leave that gym with her phone number and entertaining her. It just shows me a level of immaturity.
Absolutely.
If you want someone young, at least get somebody that's like maybe in the late 20s at the very least. But
And
sometimes,
emotionally intelligent.
but the problem with emotional intelligence is that that person cannot be molded in who you want them to be
Right. Yeah. You're right.
because they have their own thought process and their own thing. So, I saw you remember the Cat Williams interview
Yes. Yes.
that he had with him. One thing, I don't know if it was an edit or the way it was actually done, but during the time that Cat Williams was talking about how all 2024 information is coming out, people's truth is coming out. The
Mhm.
word is truth for 2024, and he took 2 sips of his cognac, and he sounded like he was concerned
Mhm.
because it just looked the way his face looked. Once again, I don't know if it was a specific edit to make it look like that, but
Could
the
have
way
been.
his face looked is like he was concerned about them teas coming out.
Right.
So, you have to know who are the discerning people that you can actually play around with. And for you to get a rando at the freaking gym, there was no thought process in any of this.
Mhm.
You left the door wide open. Now she could kick it through to get her 50 mil. Um, Miss Kim says, this Shannon Sharp story is pure race play and it's disgusting. Amen.
Mhm.
He's too damn old to be messing with 19 and 20-year-old women. He should be embarrassed with his netta looking A word. She also says, I shared Funky Daniva's video on Shannon Sharp. It's quite interesting. And I saw that as well.
Mhm.
Um, it's like they keep on falling for the same trick. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And if you some people did bring up his history. This happened to him before, Jonathan.
Oh,
Another Caucasian night, basically bringing him down. He was going to be working for like CBS or something back then,
really?
and then an allegation somewhat similar to this one came out, and he lost that opportunity.
Wow.
So right when he's about to get $100 million for ESPN or so, I believe ESPN, this comes out about you.
Mhm.
At this point, I'm not. I'm not. I don't care. Pe- pe-
Understood.
People put themselves in their own predicaments, and
Exactly.
being that he has not
Exactly.
the first time, and I'm sure as a football player, he's seen it happen over and over and over
Over
again
and
with his own
over
peers.
again.
But
Yes.
you think you're untouchable? Watch. Watch.
And that's what happens when you have a lot of money. you sometimes feel as though you're untouchable. And that God
Mhm.
complex sort of kind of seeps in a little bit. And you think that, can't nothing hurt me. Can't nothing hurt me. Bitch, I'm rich, honey. Okay. So, anyways, so I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of Housewives news really quick before we get out of here. Mia Thornton has confirmed with Carlos King that she will not be returning to Housewives of Potomac, saying that
What?
yeah, she's saying that she only wants to go where she is valued
Oh, girl.
after announcing her exit from the Real Housewives of Potomac and her relocation to Atlanta. Um, yeah, so I don't know if a lot of people are speculating that she might be joining the cast of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I don't see her fitting into that cast at all. Really, I don't see Mia fitting into any cast, to be honest. But I'm so glad that Mia will not be returning to Housewives of Potomac. I feel like she's been on there 3 seasons too long.
Mm, mm.
She has no place on our TV screens whatsoever, and I do not wish to see her on my TV screen any longer. Kenya also released some information saying that she was initially invited to the reunion for this 16th season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Then she was uninvited to this reunion, and she feels as though she should have been given the opportunity to apologize to Britt in person. Um, and she doesn't understand the reason why she was taken out of the intro and that all of her confessionals have been removed from the season as well. I also don't understand the reason why she was removed from the confessionals and removed from the intro when she literally had scenes in the first 5 to 6 episodes of the season. And you're going to act like she's not there when she's clearly there.
I'm
So,
starting to think it's legal issues,
really?
like
Okay.
legal stuff.
Okay. I guess I can understand that if it's legal, but I want to know the reason why there would be
Well,
some type of legality with her having confessionals and being in the intro.
I've heard some people say that the young lady that was pictured
Brit.
at the time of the picture taking, she was a minor. So they're saying
Oh,
some people are saying that the reason why she has such harsh situation is because
such harsh
there's
consequences,
there's a
you
chance.
mean?
Thank you. Such harsh consequences is because there's a chance it might be minor, um,
Okay, child
shooting.
P type thing
Mhm,
going on. Okay.
mhm.
Okay.
That's what people are saying, but that's the one thing that could make sense to me because, a picture like that, like, huh, people do it, it's out there,
Right.
but for it to possibly be child P is like, oh,
But my
well.
thing is, if it was because I'd heard that it was on the OF website, and
Mhm.
OF, I believe, is very strict on their age restrictions. And I would think, like, how could it make it onto that website?
All you gotta do is put a picture up there, Jonathan. Who
That's
looking at
true.
every single picture and everything, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess. Um, but yeah, I just don't. I personally don't appreciate the fact that they've tried to erase Kenya's presence from the show, even though she actually has scenes on said show. That makes little to no sense to me. But if it's a legal thing, then I can understand it. That will be the only excuse that would fly for me, as far as that is concerned. But I am liking the way that the season is going. Um, we'll see where it goes. I really, really hope to see Shamia put Portia's feet to the fire, but I'm not going to expect that to happen. I'm hoping that she will do it, but I don't know if it's actually going to happen. But and this whole Portia and Drew storyline is gotten so old and so tired. And this whole back and forth thing with Portia saying she cares, but she doesn't care. She doesn't care, but she cares. It's like let's move past this. Let's either deal with each other or not deal with each other. Drew, clearly Portia does not want to talk to you, so why keep trying to talk to her? It makes no sense to me. But once again, we're on a reality TV show. They're going on a girls trip to Nashville for Portia's birthday, and Angela decided to invite Drew, although Drew was clearly not invited to the celebration. It is what it is. But hey, that's reality TV for you. That's what we got to watch.
Mhm.
Anyways, Jennifer, why don't you give us the last comments and then give us your social media contacts, if you will.
Dustin says, "Feel bad for the victims. Properly date." Mm,
Hmm.
yeah. And Dustin made sure to say, "Have a good night. I love you. Hope everybody had a great Thursday." My Thursday
Thank
went
you,
by fast,
Dustin.
and that was great.
Awesome.
Okay. Um. Oh, like what did you want me to do again? Hope, please.
Sure.
Just stay on the line.
We're holding fast.
Just to make sure you know, my name is Jennifer Star McCullum. I am the Light of the Leo, connected with Faithful Warrior Ministries. Go ahead and type up Faithful Warrior Ministries in YouTube, and you'll be able to find us really quickly. It'll be me with the furrow. Okay. Um, but we come together every single Saturday morning at 10ish a.m. and together as one. We we
'Cause this is
pray.
two. This is two. This
Okay.
is one. Okay.
This is one. Together like this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes
One.
more sense. Yes, together. Yes. That
Yes.
does that does make it one.
Yes. Um, and we do a devotional and we just talk about living a godly life in real life. How about that? Because a lot of people live in fantasies of what religion should be.
Okay.
So we do a good job. Yeah. Pat on the back. We do a good job of trying our best to make it as plain as possible so people can connect with God. Um oh, that's Dustin's. Don't mind me. I am Delilah Leo. I think what's messing me up is Tyrone made the sketty that I requested, and I can
Okay.
smell it, and I would like to have some.
Ooh. Oh, I heard that, child. We went to a restaurant today. I'll explain it to you after the show. We gotta go.
Okay, okay. I'm Delilah Leo. Go ahead and follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. On YouTube, just do at Delilah Leo, and you'll see me live every single Monday at 9 p.m. to decompress on Mondays. Jonathan, go ahead.
You guys can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is JoJo_speaks3020. My Facebook is Jonathan Lee. My email is williamjonathanlee@gmail.com. My Cash App is $Jonathan Lee07. That's $JonathanLee07. Once again, make sure you guys check out my Survivor season 48, episode 9 review. Once again, I uploaded it earlier today, so make sure you guys check that out. And I think that's it for tonight. So thank y'all so much for joining us tonight. Join us next week, same time, same place, same beautiful faces. But until then, we'll say bye for now. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. Be sure to go out and check out Sinners, directed by Ryan Coogler, starring Michael B. Jordan. Love you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful night. Take care, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
We're leaving.